Then this kind of just shows the capabilities of you can take a cookie cutter van like Sandy Vans has only 2 floor plans with a soon to be third. Yet if you get the premium lighting package, which isn't that expensive, but look what the amount of detail that you guys put into this and are making this ceiling literally change the entire look of the van. Hey, what's up, everybody? We're doing another video with Casper, the Sandy Ghost van, and it is on my channel, jarrod.tocci. However, I've got two of the co-owners of the Sandy Van Company, Evan, as well as Stolt Nasty, okay, Stephen Stolt, and then Sabrina is the marketing director for Sandy Van. So all four of us are going to kind of talk about what is my favorite part of the Casper the Sandy Ghost van, which is the ceiling and lighting design. Apparently, Evan, you've got some 3D renderings to share with not only me but also the audience. I mean, so Evan, people might point out that there's some half-naked people behind you. So you may want to just preface where you are.
Currently down in La Ventana, Mexico, taking a little vacation. So apologize for that, but it's we had a big friend group does a trip down here every year. So had this call happened to fall right when we were here. So anyways, let's get into the ceiling.
No days off.
Exactly. No days off. Still on vacation, but still working. At Sandy Vans, you know that we are really excited about doing creative and unique ceiling designs, queuing into to some designs that you have done before for some tables. Stolp had the awesome idea of taking that really cool table that you had created in one of your previous vans and then incorporating that into a ceiling. What we did here is we CNC all of our ceilings out. And what we've actually done is we've cut holes through the ceiling. Then we're going to come in. Stolt's going to actually fill each of these with epoxy, and then we'll backlight that. So we had to come up with a way to not only cover up any of the screws that were going to be in the ceiling, but also to add indirect lighting. So what we did is we actually added the second panel. So it's going to be a 2-layered ceiling.
I was going to ask you what that was, because I was like, dude, we didn't talk about this.
Yeah, so what we've got going on right here is we can get rid of this piece. This is your normal ceiling right here, fan cut out, what you're used to seeing. But to cover up both the fan and any of the screws that we have to use to actually mount the ceiling into the roof, we're creating an additional panel. So we're going to give it a 3-dimensional look to it. So this is going to actually be dropped down with spacers by 1/4 inch, and we're going to be able to run lighting underneath this panel. So you'll have indirect lighting coming out of this off to the sides that'll act as functional lighting. And then not only will your main ceiling be epoxied and lit, you'll also have this third panel here that will be epoxied and backlit as well.
So Stolp, you're telling me that you and Evan came up with this, and you're telling me there's 0 direct lighting in this entire ceiling?
Yeah, I mean, asking you shall receive, Jared. You get all crazy about your direct lighting, so we're going full indirect.
Can I explain why I don't like direct lighting in a van? Can I just explain this real quick? If I had like a light right here, it'd just be like booming in my face right now. So I just feel like it would be, it takes away from the space having like this like light like right in your face. And I don't want to feel like, feel like I'm going to Jesus every time I look up, you know?
All right. Well, you won't have to. So this van will be approximately 6 foot 2.5 with this ceiling. So we're only dropping down 1/2 inch, which won't be very noticeable, but you will notice the aesthetic. It will be very pretty. I hope you already are down with it, because I know we didn't talk about it, but I already
you already caught it.
That we were talking about.
Wait a minute. I got a question. Why are you missing? That's already epoxied, it looks like.
It is.
Sure is.
Well, there's a section in the middle there that it looks like it's completely, unless you use clear epoxy that I can't tell.
There is a bit missing, but that's because that's going to be going right over the fan. So we actually have to be able to get flow through it. So there will be stuff covering that up, but we're going to end up putting a mesh material, and then we'll color that to match the epoxy colors. So it'll still have the same aesthetic, but you're actually going to get your airflow going through those spacing.
So wait a minute, there's not going to be any ugly shroud of any fan?
We hate that fan trim.
Oh, I like that. That's sexy like a chocolate covered strawberry. All right, so Stolp right now, for people that can't tell, he's got his phone light on and he's showing that the epoxy is translucent or transparent. And it looks like you have an orange and a blue.
Sandy Van's colors, baby.
Happens to be my favorite colors. That was not planned, but it worked out beautifully.
No, we actually based our company off your color preference.
That's exactly what it was. 3 years ago, you looked me up and you were like, dude, this guy likes orange and blue. It's weird. There's no finish on that yet. You just sanded that down.
Yeah, so this is actually only hit with 120 right now. I'm going to try to get it to like 240 before I hit it with our poly coat.
Oh, yeah.
So it's still going to have kind of like a semi-gloss look. Going back to that drawing, this is just going to be the whole ceiling looks like this. So there's actually going to be lights inside the ceiling, and then there's going to be lights inside the drop ceiling. All of those little holes that you see will be illuminated in some way, shape, or form. And you don't got to be a mad scientist to understand that that's going to take a lot of wiring and a lot of lights. But I'll probably get all that wiring and lighting done next week for sure.
For people that are going to be kind of crazy about, oh, is that going to be enough light? Like, you're not going to be able to see anything, blah, 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 blah. If I know Steven Stolp as well as I think I know him, you're adding more light, more than likely, around the under cabinets as more lighting and toe kick and other places, correct?
Yeah, there's going to be some direct lighting underneath the cabinets, but it will be on a separate switch. It won't be. So if you don't want to turn on your direct lights, Jarrod, you don't have to. You can have all your indirects on. I could even take that switch off the program through our Red Arc system if you want. So then it just doesn't even exist. But this van will be for sale. So I do want some good functional light underneath those cabinets. Even though our LEDs are already diffused, Jarrod hates them. So we're gonna make sure that we could still have good functional light. People like to read. I don't know any of them, but they do.
Yeah.
So
who are they?
Reading light is good for underneath cabinets and all that.
Oh, it's actually good for cooking. Are you talking the puck lights or are you talking the strip lighting?
Watch your mouth.
We'll do some creative strip lighting with some designs and things that go with the aesthetic of the ceiling. But to Stolp's point of having the functional direct lighting in there, it's super important in a small space to be able to have a lot of lighting, especially with the aesthetics that yours is going to be. It'll be fairly dark in there. We're going dark cabinetry. So we need to make sure that we do have the ability to turn on a lot of light when you want it. Keep it bright in there.
All right, back up to Choo Choo Charlie, because I actually feel that this is going to be more lit than you all think it's going to be.
Oh, God.
Not like
that's why you got a lot of different switches.
Yeah, not like sound like a TikToker over there.
Not lit like that. Not like this is on fire. No, not lit. Like I'm talking like it'll be illuminated.
Yes,
it's more than you all think it is. Like the only way for people to see that in person is to come out to Tiny Fest, which is March 16th and 17th of 2024. And I always forget what year we're in because we are going to be revealing the Casper the Sandy Ghost van at noon on Saturday.
If you go to Tiny Fest, you're going to see a big curtain over what appears to be a Sprinter van. That will be revealed.
Yeah, I'm supposed to sleep there on site, so I don't know where I'm sleeping Friday night.
You can sleep in the van, just like keep the curtain on it.
Yeah, that's just that's ghostly.
Be like the Phantom of the Van Opera.
The what? The Phantom of the Van Opera?
Phantom of the Van Opera.
Surprisingly shocked that you were able to pull this off. Now, you haven't put it into the ceiling yet. Are you confident that it's going to concave with the curvature of the Sprinter?
Definitely. So we work with a lot of 1/4-inch bamboo here at Sandy Vans. all of our ceilings for the most part are 1/4-inch bamboo. There are sometimes we even can bend the 1/2 inch to fit that concave. It is pretty slight. It is something we consider. The thicker ceilings do get more screws, but 1/4-inch bamboo is a very pliable plywood.
Evan, you had an idea when we first had this idea for the ceiling. You were talking about using a hard plastic insert, and Stolp was like, no, and it was because of the pliability, like he likes to say, of an epoxy. So the epoxy with only a 1/4-inch pour, you went with a TotalBoat, correct?
Correct. TotalBoat hooked us up. They gave us a bunch of epoxy, and this is actually the first time I've worked with TotalBoat.
How was it?
I'm really stoked. It was really conservative with the instructions as far as like dry times and handling times. I was actually worried that this was going to take like a long time to cure. I did a little bit of a hot pour. Sorry, TotalBoat, but put a little extra hardener in there just to make sure. I am dealing with some colder conditions in San Diego. We're freezing at 55 degrees right now.
I was about to say, what is it, 60?
Yeah. So the shop does get, sub 50 at night. So that's why I wanted to make sure to put a little bit of extra hardener just so it could cure fast enough. And it turned out great. There's no bubbles. The pour is very consistent. I mixed the colors, and the translucentness of each lens is almost identical.
Did you go all orange and blue?
Correct. I was going to do 3 colors. I was going to add like a little bit of like sparkly white in there. But it just, I was in the moment. That's how the best art is created. I like had everything pulled to the side, but I was just like, I'm going to just kind of go with my gut here and do the orange and blue. And I think it turned out really good.
I like it. And that's only that center panel.
Yeah.
Wait until you guys see that kind of up against the other large panel. And Evan, if you could pull up that 3D model again, I just want to point something out. It doesn't go like you made enough room for the upper cabinets.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll actually see this ceiling right here. This is where cabinets are going to be covering things. So we didn't extend the ceiling all the way across. There's no reason in wasting material or epoxy for that.
Right.
So we'll have cabinets going for this full stretch on this side.
So why is there a line in the middle? Like, is that why does that?
Yep. So what this is right here is you always, when you're designing, you've got to work with the limitations of the materials that you have. So we only have access to 4x8 sheets of plywood. So we had to figure out how to make the ceiling fit on 4x8 sheets. So that's what this is here. So we've got this. This is actually going to fall right on one of the beams within the sprinter, and then we'll be able to cover that. A decent bit of that. So this bit right here will be covered with cabinetry. This bit right here is going to be covered with cabinetry, and then the center covered by this piece. So you really won't see much of that seam being exposed.
That center section is removable.
Exactly. So that's a big thing, right? Is we are covering up the fan, but that is something. As anybody that's spent a good bit of time in these vans, you know how dirty those fans can get. So you do have to be able to get in there, service things, and clean them. So this will be able to be, this whole panel will be able to be easily removed.
Then this kind of just shows the capabilities of, you can take a cookie cutter van like Sandy Vans has only 2 floor plans with a soon to be 3rd. Yet if you get the premium lighting package, which isn't that expensive, but look what the amount of detail that you guys put into this and are making this ceiling literally change the entire look of the van just off of, this 10 by 4 foot section or whatever it is.
And that was our big goal with Sandy Vans, was to be able to have the bones of the build be the same, so that we're able to produce these quickly, and also be able to do something that's easily serviced. So if we do have a van that's 1,000 miles away, and somebody calls us up, a component went out, or something's wrong with their electrical system, we have all of that sitting on the shelf in our warehouse, so we can easily ship a part out, or to try to help troubleshoot that. The electrical system that's in their van is the same one that we have, in the 6 vans in our shop currently being worked on. So everyone knows exactly where every component goes in that when it comes to the systems. So it's really easy for maintenance and warranty. But we also haven't built the same van twice. We're able to come in with these elements like the ceiling and get a custom unique product to the customer.
You know, it's pretty freaking cool that you guys can change so much with. And I don't even know what your upcharge. I forget what your upcharge is on the package, the lighting package, but it's like,
Yeah, it's under $2,000 to go to it. Yeah.
I mean, it's totally worth it. Sabrina, what would you want to do for a ceiling if Sabrina had a van?
Oh, I love this. For me, okay, so
Yeah.
I thought you were.
And then also, I would love for you to critique what Stolp has done for Casper, and even you can even give your thoughts.
So I really like the Hugh Jack van lighting. That was really cool, and I like how you incorporated like the 3 claws, like there's a story behind it. I'm excited to see how this turns out. I don't have any critiques because I haven't seen it in action, but it seems cool, and especially like with seeing your table, it's great marketing piece too.
Oh, you have seen my table. That's right. I did send you the table. Okay.
Will it be as bright as the table?
What's that?
Will it be as bright as the table?
I have some tricks up my sleeve as far as like how to illuminate these little slivers better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to like lay out all my stuff, you know, but
I sorry to interrupt you, Steve, but I actually think it'll be brighter because that table was about 1.25 inches thick, whereas these panels are 1/4 inch thick. So that light was illuminating through like that much epoxy, where Stevens is like that much epoxy.
Actually, some of these are like smaller than 1/4. Like some of them are like even thinner.
3/8. No, 3/8 is bigger.
Wrong way.
Yeah.
No, some of it is still almost as thick as the ply, but you know, I tried to, like I said, have a consistent pour so the light wouldn't get messed up. One thing I feel like people will be confused at how to operate the fan when it's covered. They all come with a remote. We use the Max Air Deluxe, the 7500 with the smoked black rain hood. So you don't even need to have access to those controls. This is a design that I do want to do on more vans moving forward because we all hate that fan.
Yes.
We all hate it.
I was just talking to our good buddy Nick Nelson yesterday, and I told him about not the shroud being shown, and I was like, I really hope that they do not show that shroud, and I think he's going to steal the design as well.
Ideas are to be stolen. Evan and I are very used to people taking our ideas, so it's
that'll bring me maybe to one of my last questions where, you know, Stolp, you actually were inspired by my second ceiling design where it was, I don't want to say stolen, it was used by probably a dozen other people. Do you think this will be replicated, the ceiling that you have done?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, it's definitely going to be a speculated answer. I cannot predict the future. I feel like people will probably start covering up that fan after they see this. I have some designs back when I was doing Stolp Solution stuff that a lot of people like did after I did, which I don't know if I did it first. I don't really care. I want that to be very clear because I tell everybody all the time, steal my ideas because a week later I'll come up with something way crazier. So if anything, it just motivates me to like push it further each time.
And I just want to say why I love working with Sandy Vans is I've got a crazy brain with Steven Stolp and, you know, myself. We can kind of bounce ideas off each other, but Evan puts us in check because he's the engineer brain. And he's like, guys, that just isn't going to work, but let's make it work. So Evan was a very intricate part of this. And to be honest with you, Sabrina has kept all of us in line because we're just a bunch of nimrods running around. So it was like a perfect storm, right? Of all of us just kind of working together.
Yeah, I mean, our team is very dynamic. We're all super different. Evan has a different background. Alan has a different background. I sure as hell have a different background. Our other business partner, Brian, same thing. We all work really well together. We listen to each other. That's the most important thing. I was very anti-CNC until I met Evan, and I was like, wow, like I could not spend a week making a light fixture and it'd be perfect like every time. And we could print that thing out. And a good artist has one oil painting and they make all their money off their prints. And that's like kind of the whole thing with the CNC. We're able to replicate these designs at a very quick rate and have them ready for our customers so everybody could enjoy them.
Well, hopefully we get some orders in for another, a Casper ceiling. I think the Casper ceiling could be a staple of the Sandy Vans lineup. I think that would be rad. Or maybe even a different version of it would be even cooler. Like just a Casper and then whatever somebody turns it into.
That's what we're here to do, is just customize and innovate on it. So absolutely, we're ready for it.
All right. Any closing arguments that you guys want to end with? Stolp's
I'm gonna go kite.
That's a good closing argument right there. What's that one's name, Stolp?
This is Bella.
That's Bella. It's actually, I think that's beautiful in Italian, is it not?
Yes, she's my beautiful angel.
That's the shop manager right there.
Yep.
He's cute.
We've all seen Chevy. Where is Chevy?
Chevy is with my wife at home.
Okay.
And then we also have a pit bull. This little thing has been attacking our pit bull, so we needed to separate those two. And this animal has killed our pet rabbits, has killed every small animal I've ever seen come her way. Don't let this Bo fool you. She is an attack dog to the fullest degree.
She attacks other animals, not humans, everybody.
Yeah, she'll run.
She's a little angel to all the people.
Ivan, I don't want to keep you from kite surfing anymore.
Yeah, it's time. It's time to go enjoy this. All right, guys.
That poor person next to you has been just listening to this crap this whole time. Now we feel bad.
Yeah, of course.
Hi.
All right, guys. Catch you later.
We'll see you later. Thank you, Sabrina, and thank you, Steven Stolp, everybody.
I could run through the fire, I could conquer the night, if I can make it, if